Hey guys, JohnMadLabs here. Today I'm going to be going over my method of turning my ideas into functional 3D printed parts and then applying that process to make a 3D printed desk stand for my microphone. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I do is get all the measurements I will need when 3D modeling. For example, for this microphone stand, I need to know how high it'll be off the desk and what angle it'll be at. So I get those measurements and then I can start 3D modeling. So before I can start 3D modeling, I need to get any of the models that I don't want to 3D model. Anything with a specific shape, a specific size, anything that I don't want to waste time modeling, I will get from Thingiverse.com and integrate it into my design. And for my microphone stand, the part that I don't want to model is going to be the clip that clips onto the microphone. So I find one on Thingiverse and I download it. Okay, so after I get the files I need, I hop into Tinkercad and make a new design. I use Tinkercad because it's free and I have a couple years of experience. So what I do is drag in the model that I need and then I click import. After it imports, I make sure that the size is right and that everything looks okay, and then I can start modeling. Okay, so for this model, I cut away a rectangular shape near the bottom, make sure it's perfectly center, and cut it away. Then I add in a box, make it centered, make it flat, and I stretch it out to the height that I want my stand to be. After that, I add in this wedge thingy to smoothen the transition from the microphone clip to the rest of the body. Okay, so the next thing I do is I make the base of this stand. I make it as thick as the rest of the body and angle it at the angle I want it to be at. First, I try 90 degrees. I group it together, see how it looks, and it looks pretty ugly. So I'll make it a little bit at an angle so that my microphone can sit at an angle and point straight towards my face. After I'm satisfied, I cut away any unnecessary bits and then I group everything together and change the color to something more visually appealing. After that, I make sure my model looks good. Make sure everything's at the right angle, everything's modeled correctly, there's no overhangs because I don't like support, so no overhangs. And after that, I name my model and export it. Okay, so for slicing, I import my model into Cura Slicer, that's the slicer I use, and then I make sure it's imported correctly and that it looks good. Okay, this looks good, and I don't think this will need any supports, which is good. So then I start selecting all the settings. For the settings, I just choose like the infill I want, or the material temperature according to the material I'm using, supports if I need any, I don't, so I turn them off, and the layer height. After I get those dialed in, I press the slice button and wait for it to slice. I make sure that the time looks good, 1 hour 37 minutes, so then I can click preview and preview my model, and make sure the infill is good and everything looks okay. Okay, and after I make sure everything is perfect, I can export my model. Now you can't really see this part because the Windows game bar doesn't really want to show anything with the program you're working on, so trust me when I say that I export the model, and then I make sure that it is saved to the correct location. Okay, so for printing, I go to Octoprint, and then I wait for it to connect. After that, I click on Control, and I make sure that my camera is still there, my printer is still there, and it's all angled correctly. I go back to here, and I upload my G-code. Of course you can't see this because Windows game bar is broken. And then I wait for it to upload, and then I press the print button. After I start my print, it asks me to select some octolapse settings because I use the octolapse plugin. So I click accept and continue. and then I preview my model one last time to make sure everything is correct and nothing got corrupted somehow. Okay, now I came here to check to make sure the first layer gets laid down properly. And as you can see, everything looks level, nothing seems to be peeling off. And once this first layer finishes, I can go away and let the printer do its job. Okay, now that our print is done, I can take it off the build plate and move on to post-processing. And boom, now this 3D printed part looks all cleaned up. So now we can test it out. So let's just put in our microphone here. Good thing about PLAs is flexible. And as you can see, it works perfectly. The angle is good, everything looks perfect. And this doesn't always happen, but it works on the first try. That means I don't have to redesign or reprint anything. So that means I'm done. And yeah, guys, so now I have this 3D printed desk stand for my microphone that I designed and 3D printed all within one day. And that's it for today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope that it has taught you something about how I make my ideas into 3D models and then into functional 3D printed parts. Anyways, guys, thank you for sticking around to the very end, and I will see you next time on JohnMadLabs. Bye.